Finally, my most anticipated premiere and the best show on TV returns. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for the season premiere of The Americans, Season 3, Episode 1, EST, man. And guys, I cannot even express how much I was looking forward to this. Because, of course, you guys know The Americans is my favorite show on TV. I think it's the best well-written show on TV. I think it has the best writing on TV. Just that finale, I still think about how shocking it was, and how much it surprised me, and how shocking it was, and how much I was so into it the whole time, and I love that about the finale. And I think this episode, I was really hoping that this season would be just as good, and how was this premiere? Fucking amazing. Probably the best premiere The Americans has ever done. Yeah, better than last year. Better than last year, because this year they killed off a huge character, and I'll talk about that, but so many things happened in this finale. I can already tell this is going to be the best season. I can already tell this is going to be the best season of The Americans. I'm already into it, as more than ever. It's better than it's ever been, and let's just get into it because I loved this episode. I thought it was so good. So many things to love about this episode, and let's just get into it. So we start off with Elizabeth, and she's taking a bubble bath, and she has a flashback of when Paige was young. And basically, I like starting off this way because, of course, what is on our minds right now? What is in Elizabeth's mind? Her daughter. Her daughter's safety, making sure her daughter's safe, and that was on my mind as well. Was Paige's character. What was going to happen with her? Was she going to take the job? Now, I personally thought, as I said, the first scene should have been a conversation, but this is the most slow-paced show on TV, and I love that it's slow-paced because it works so much better when it's slow-paced than when it's fast-paced. So I like that, Paige has no idea what's going on and that this is happening to her. I like that because it makes for more intrigue, more suspense, which I really enjoy. So, Elizabeth has this flashback when Paige was young. It's a really interesting flashback because they were trying to teach her how to swim in a local pool, and Paige was terrified of the water. Like, literally terrified. She did not want to go in the water, and Elizabeth pushed her into the water when none of the other parents were watching. And I think the reason she was thinking of that particular flashback is because she's thinking, am I a good parent? Because she's not really sure if she's a good parent, for what she's done with Paige, if she's a good parent for what she's done in the first place. And I think that's really what's going through Elizabeth's mind right now is, am I a good parent? Am I doing a good thing by doing this? Because, they're both really contemplating on what to do here with this whole situation, and it was very interesting to see what was going on there. So she then heads out for drinks in disguise with a CIA agent named Charlotte, and the second we saw she was a CIA agent, I'm like, this is kind of interesting, because we haven't seen this character before, and I was interested in seeing what they were going to do with this character. Her character was definitely very interesting. She gets drunk and complains that she busted her ass for the agency, but they always pass her up on positions because she's a woman. And she passes Elizabeth a file and says that it has everything that she'll need for an American operation in Afghanistan. And the agent says she has to go to the bathroom. She runs to a payphone, calls someone, cries that she is doing something horrible. And the second she said that, I'm like, shit is going to go down. Because I heard the first 10 minutes of this premiere, something crazy happens. And definitely something crazy happened. It got pretty crazy very fast. And I really enjoyed that. And, she's freaking out and everything. But meanwhile, Phillip and Stan, I really like this. I thought this was very well done. Phillip and Stan are at a self-help workshop on how to fully experience life. This guy's talking to them about life and how you should experience life, like sex. I like the part where he compares it to sex and things like that. And I really like that presentation because, one of the things this season is them fully experiencing life. And it really is a good, deeper meaning, which I'm really enjoying. I really am enjoying that. I think what that scene's trying to show is that Philip's trying to, fully experience life. And I really do love the parallels between that and him and Elizabeth's marriage. I'm assuming that's really what it's supposed to show. I don't know, but I thought that was a very well done scene. So Charlotte heads back to the table, and right away she's acting very strange. There's definitely something off about her. Elizabeth can tell right away that something's up. She can tell. She's not dumb. She knows what's going on. She makes up an excuse and says she has to leave. While she's walking away from the bars, 2 cars fly past her. 2 agents arrive at the bar and question Charlotte. She describes what Elizabeth was wearing in detail. They take notes and radio for backup, but of course, Elizabeth is 2 steps ahead. She's changed disguises, which was awesome. The second that she changed disguises, I'm like, this is awesome. Two FBI agents stop Elizabeth. She begins fighting with them. As one of them is choking her, they fall into the road, hit by a motorcycle. Both of the men are down. Elizabeth grabs one of their guns. She can hear sirens approaching in the distance, and that's how the episode starts. That has to be the craziest 10 minutes I've seen the Americans in a very long time. Like, that was literally insane. That was absolutely insane what was going on. I never thought that the Americans would be that crazy in the first 10 minutes, and already I was into it. I was like, wow, this is already just amazing what they're doing with this season. So yeah, that was pretty crazy, in case you guys can't tell. It was really crazy, definitely, what was going on there. So I really enjoyed that. So Stan and Phillip head back to Phillip's house, and they find Elizabeth in the kitchen, icing her shoulder. And, of course, since Stan doesn't know what's really going on, Elizabeth, makes up this lie that she hurt herself doing laundry. And I love Stan's... One of the things I really like about this episode is that it reminds us that Stan does not know about Phillip and Elizabeth's secret, but he's, like, best friends with them. It's going to be very hard for him when he finds out that they are, KGB agents. I don't know when he's going to find out, but I'm pretty sure, I'm assuming he's going to find out really soon. I definitely see him finding out very soon. I think this is going to be something where he finds out very quickly, and very interesting what's going to happen there. So, Phil convinces Stan to leave, and then, basically, they're joking around about doing laundry, things like that, but Stan leaves, and then Elizabeth tells Philip what really happened, that she had a close call with FBI agents, and fills him in on the details. And then this next scene, I really like, because I didn't see this, because the next morning Stan is to work, and we see that the one that Elizabeth got into a fight with was Agent Gad, and when we saw Gad, it was like, wow, that's a really good twist that Gad was injured, because he knows that someone injured him, and they got a list of names out of Elizabeth's pocket, and basically they are running it for fingerprints. Gad breaks that news to Stan that Nina was convicted for treason, and he's obviously shaken up because Stan loves Nina. He loves her unconditionally, and he doesn't want anything bad to happen to her. And I like seeing that happen in this episode. I like seeing Stan's, reaction to what happened to Nina, because, of course, I was very interested in seeing what was going to happen to her. I thought they were going to go ahead and kill her off, but I'm happy they didn't, because I want to see what's happened to Nina. I want to see more of her storyline. I really liked that storyline last season, because, Stan really does love her, but she wants nothing to do with him. She doesn't. She wants to be with Oleg. So I was very interested in seeing how that was going to be, and that was definitely very interesting. So, Elizabeth heads to church with Paige, and now the one thing I was looking forward to seeing, of course, in this episode was Paige, and when we see Paige, she's in church, Elizabeth's with her in church now, and I like seeing that, because they mentioned in the season 2 how, Elizabeth was accompanying her to church, and we didn't really see that, so I liked that in this episode we actually finally got to see that, because it was something we need to see. We need to see Elizabeth accompany Paige to church, which I really enjoyed watching. I thought that was very well done. So Elizabeth catches her checking out one of the guys there. They were making flyers for a peace rally, and we see that Paige has developed a little bit of a crush on one of the guys there named Dan, and she's kind of annoyed when the pastor encourages them to work together, because he knows that Dan and Paige like each other, and I think that was really funny, that we have that little relationship going on. I like that for Paige. I think that's good for her, and I definitely really enjoy that. But I also feel so bad for her, because she has no idea what's about to happen to her. She has no idea what the center wants her to do, and that I felt so bad for her. We meet a new character in this episode, Gabriel, and Gabriel's character I really like. Basically, Elizabeth and Phillip pay Gabriel, who is apparently their old handler, who they're very close with, and I like this dynamic because it's very different than Claudia or even Kate, because Claudia and Kate, they really weren't sure if they should trust them, if they should trust Claudia, if they should trust Kate. They know right off the bat that Gabriel they can trust, and I love Frank Langella in the show. I think he works perfectly as their handler, and he's probably going to be my favorite handler. I really like him as their handler, because he's a nice guy. He's not, he doesn't seem suspicious. He just seems like a genuinely nice guy that they have a good relationship with, which I like, and I really like his character, definitely. I think he's a very good character. So he puts the finishing touches on the dinner he made for them, while Elizabeth shows them pictures of Henry and Paige, and they sit down to eat and catch up, and Elizabeth apologized profusely for losing the list, and Gabriel rants that Reagan is trying to turn Afghanistan into their Vietnam, and they discuss that Paige joined the center, and Gabriel agrees, and now it is time for her to start laying the groundwork in Paige. And I like that he brought this up because, of course, that's really what the center wants them to do is help out Paige. And, I mean, not help out Paige, but get Paige to become a spy. And Elizabeth reassures Gabriel that they have Paige in a very liberal church that is protesting the nuclear event, and they're getting ready to tell her who they really are. And we find out later that Elizabeth, this is not really true what she's saying. She is saying what Gabriel wanted her to say, and Phillip does not like this at all. Because after this, they go into the car, and Phillip is not happy at all. You know, she thinks that he thinks that she's saying the wrong things, and what I like about this is that this used to be a show about their relationship and how the relationship was, but now it's more of a show of who's the better parent here. You know, who really is the better parent for her, and I like seeing that because I definitely feel like the relationship is kind of falling apart because Phillip said that line at the end of the finale last year where he said, "My wife and me will be finished," and I don't think he just means with KGB, I think he means period, like leaving her. And there was that time in season 1 where they left each other, and I did kind of see that happening again this season. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again, and that was definitely very interesting to see. So Martha goes to the shooting range with Stan. She whines that no matter how much she target practices, she can never seem to hit the target, and Stan realizes that she's wearing glasses, tells her to take them off. She fires another round, and they are all headshots. And at the agency, Oleg is whining to Arkady about Nina. He wants to get her out of the treason charges because, of course, he's in love with Nina. She's in love with him, and he wants to see her. And Arkady couldn't sound less interested. Like, Arkady doesn't seem interested. Oleg reveals that he begged his father to help her, but he refused, and he really needs Arkady's help, so I really hope that Arkady does help him. It seems like at this point Arkady's not going to help him, but I really hope he does because he needs Arkady's help, and he needs to help him, so I don't know if he's going to, but he has to help him, and he needs to understand that, you know, Arkady needs to help him, and I like seeing those scenes between Oleg and Arkady in this episode. Very good stuff between them. Really enjoyed that. So Phillip meets with Annalise, and she dishes on everything she has learned from Yousaf. She tells her to call Yousaf, because, of course, and I like seeing Annalise again. The last time we saw Annalise, of course, was in the episode Yousaf. And he tells her to call Yousaf and tell him that her husband is out of town so that he will come back and they can get a list of the CIA officers. And meanwhile at home, Elizabeth is listening to a tape because Gabriel told her that there was something waiting for her. And it's this tape that Gabriel gave her from a woman in another language. And Annalise ends up having sex with Phillip in the car, or at least she gives him a blowjob or something. And he tries to comfort her, and Annalise confesses that she is in love with Yousaf. And I like seeing that. I like seeing that Annalise is in love with him. But I felt like there was like, I don't know about that. It just seems too perfect for me. I really didn't know if she was really in love with him. I don't know. But I like seeing Annalise, saying that she's in love with him because I like Annalise being in love. I like seeing Annalise happy, and I like Annalise as a character. I think she's a good character overall. I like all the characters in the show, obviously, but I think she's a very good character, and I like seeing the development with her, because we haven't seen her in a while, and we need to get that development. So Phillip heads to the office the next day, and Elizabeth surprised him with a brownie. He was mad earlier because she made some for the church potluck and wouldn't let him eat any of them, which I thought was kind of funny, honestly. I thought that was actually a very funny scene. And what I like about The Americans is that while it is a very, very dramatic, heavy show, very dramatic, heavy, it can throw some comedy in there, and I like that because the show is everything. It really is a meta genre because when you got the family, it's a lot of fun to watch. A lot of the scenes with the family, when the four of them interact, it's really a lot of fun to watch, which I really like seeing. I thought it was very well done, and I definitely really, really enjoyed it. I thought I thought there was some very good stuff there, and I thought that was very funny. So Elizabeth shuts the door and turns on the copy machine so no one can hear them, and this was really sad. I didn't expect this to happen, and I really felt bad for Elizabeth because of this. I really did, and you gotta feel bad for her. She reveals that the tape from Gabriel was from her mother, and she's dying. Her mother is dying, and that's really sad. I mean, I don't know if they're going to go more in depth with this, but I don't know what's going to happen to Elizabeth, but her mother's dying, and that's really sad to see. And that tape she had of her mother was speaking another language, and I kind of feel like those were like her mother's last words or something. I don't know. I definitely feel like we're going to see more of this, but it's going to be very interesting to see if they touch more upon that, because I'm very interested in that storyline. It's very sad, and I'm very interested in seeing where they take that. So at work, Stan is being briefed on a mid-ranking official from the U.S.-Canada Institute. Their team will be responsible for her security, and the KGB is going to be gunning for her. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. It seems like Stan's going to be working with this girl now, and I don't know what's going to happen, but that could be very interesting. And then the last scene of the episode, Elizabeth's driving down the street with a car tailing her. She pulls down a dark street, turns her car off. The man follows her, one of the agents. The man following her is one of the agents she is training with, and she critiques his driving, reassures him that he is doing fine, and I thought that was interesting. Annalise is in a room with Yousaf, and Phillip is listening in the room next door. Yousaf tells Annalise that he wants her to move into his apartment to Zurich and leave her husband. And she agrees, and Annalise tells Yousaf that she loves him and that she reveals that she has been spying on him. And when she said that, I was like, holy shit, this is not gonna roll, because Annalise, he kills Annalise. He kills Annalise, and that was absolutely huge. Now, I kind of suspected it. I will say that. I did kind of suspect that it was going to happen. However, I loved the way the scene was done. I thought the way the scene was done was very well done. However, I suspected it because in the plot of the episode, it said something unexpected happens to Annalise, and I knew something big happened this premiere. So I was like, you know what, Annalise is probably going to die, and she did, but it's honestly a very big death because Annalise has always been the second spy for Phillip. I mean, when Phillip hasn't had Elizabeth, he's had Annalise, and he didn't really have Annalise, and, now he doesn't have Annalise anymore. But what I do like is what this is leading to, because Phillip rushes in, he's too late, Annalise is dead, and Yousaf is panicking, he's getting dressed, but he tells Phillip to wait and says that he will help him. And now it seems like Phillip and Yousaf might be working together, which, if that's true, that could be very interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if Phillip and Yousaf are going to work together, because if they do, it could be a very interesting dynamic, and it's something we really haven't seen before on the show if they work together, because that could be very interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where they take that, but everything about this premiere was absolutely fantastic. Also, Clark and Martha, Phillip is Clark and Martha, not much to say there. They're still having sex, they're still a couple and everything. Not really too much to say that's going on there, but there's so many things to talk about. First of all, let's talk about Paige. I feel so bad for Paige. They need to figure out what they really want to do about this Paige situation. It seems like they are very much split about it. Phillip doesn't want to do it at all, while Elizabeth thinks that we have to do this, and we have no choice. I mean, I'm kind of on both their sides. In one hand, Phillip's on the side where he doesn't want to let her go, that she's 14. He tried to tell, now I can't remember his name. He tried to tell Gabriel about it, and Gabriel just doesn't want to listen because the center wants this. I mean, they really can't do anything about it. The center wants this, and they have to do it. So it's going to be very sad to see, but I'm definitely interested in what's going to happen to Paige. I mean, I kind of agree with Phil, what he said in the finale. It's going to destroy her, but we'll see what happens. That's going to be interesting to see as well. As far as Yousaf, it's going to be interesting to see if Yousaf and Phillip work together. That could be a very interesting dynamic, and I'm interested in seeing if that actually does end up happening, because I think it could be really cool, actually. I don't know if they're going to end up working together, but if they do, it could be a very cool dynamic, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Phillip and Stan, I like seeing Phillip and Stan kind of have fun this episode, but at the same time, I kind of feel like they're going to reveal his Stan as well. I really do feel that way. I don't know why, but it kind of seems like this is going to be the season of reveals. It really does. Elizabeth's mother, I feel so bad for her because of that. That's going to be interesting to see. Is Arkady going to help Oleg? Because it seems like he wants nothing to do with him. It seems like he doesn't even really care, but Oleg needs someone to help him, and he needs Arkady to help him, and I really want Oleg to succeed because I like Oleg and Nina. I want Oleg to succeed because I really liked Oleg's character last season. Oleg was a character that I never thought I'd like, and I really loved about his character. He really is he's the perfect guy for Nina. I mean, she loves him, he loves her, and he wants to get her out, but at the same time, Stan wants to get her out. So it seems like it's going to be sort of like a battle here of what's going to happen. And also, Stan and this new girl, I don't know what's going to happen there, but that could be interesting as well. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen there. Definitely looking forward to that. And I guess that's really all there is to say about this episode. Overall, guys, also I loved Gabriel. I love his character. I love their handler already. I think he is absolutely fantastic. He's probably the best handler they've had. I think he is perfect for them. And they really do need a handler like this because this is the kind of handler that can give them the missions they need. And I really do love his character already. I think he's great for them. I think he is a fantastic character, and I love what they're doing with his character. I think his character is very, very well done, and I'm interested in seeing where they go with his character, because that could be very interesting. But I guess that's really all I'm going to say for my review, guys. Overall, guys, I absolutely loved this premiere. I can already tell this season is going to be amazing. This definitely seems like they're going in a much darker direction. Also, Phillip and Elizabeth's relationship, I really want to talk about their relationship. Their relationship, to me, kind of seems like it's falling apart, because, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like the relationship is falling apart to me. I don't think that they're not really agreeing with each other. You know, Philip's still comforting her. He still loves her, but it kind of seems like I feel like if they tell Paige, it's going to ruin their relationship, and I think that's going to be very interesting to see what ends up happening there. Are they going to tell Paige? Are they going to somehow try to not tell her? Are they going to try to somehow avoid it? That's going to be interesting to see. Is Philip going to work with Yousaf? Is he going to agree to it? That's going to be interesting. Elizabeth's mother, is she going to comfort her mother? Is she going to try to help her mother? Is she possibly going to go back to where her mother is so they can see her and they'll have like a funeral and everything? I'm very interested in seeing what they're going to do with Paige. If Elizabeth does do what she's saying to, Gabriel, if she really is true with what she's saying, I'm very interested in seeing how they handle that. Also, Claudia. I don't know if Claudia's gone from the show. I'm assuming she is because now they have Gabriel. I don't miss her. I am going to be honest. I don't miss Claudia because I love Gabriel so much more. It's such a different dynamic because, you know, they can trust Gabriel more, and I like that a lot more, and I love that about this episode. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Overall, guys, I loved this episode. Fantastic premiere. Can't wait to see where they head with the rest of the season. And I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for Arrow. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.